it's time for a new kill count video. This one I've been excited for ever since I think James announced it. And it's for Don't Breathe. And the sequel is, I think, coming out next week. Fingers crossed, I hope it's good, because every time there's a horror film, or the horror film would be perfectly good on its own, but then sometimes it's like, if they want to. Here's the thing for horror sequels, unless you want to set up something, unless you have a specific idea of what you want to do. Thing is, I'm trying to say is like there are so many times where horror sequels come out and it's like they always leave the door open, but it's like the creative vision behind the original film is gone, and it's like, yeah, like okay, for example, Halloween, the original film, and then the Halloween 2, the 1981 sequel, which I think Carpenter only wrote the script outline for it, but he was never directly involved with the movie. And yeah, I think and same thing with the Saw films. After James Wan left the director's chair for after Part One, it's like there came in a slew of different directors that did almost the exact same thing, except in my opinion, without the creativity that the original film had. And you know, that's why, like, it's kind of like the Conjuring films. Like, those films were good because James Wan is a smart man and he knows what he's doing. With Insidious, for example, the first two were really good, and then after that, it was like, yeah, I can't bring myself to enjoy this. I mean, Insidious 3 was chapter 3 was okay. I did not care for the last key. I do know that there's a fifth one that is actually being directed by Patrick Wilson. So, but Don't Breathe was a very surprisingly great film. I thought, wow, this is a really suspenseful film, and it's kind of interesting. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before, but you know, and it was a really good film. It kept me scared. I was like on the edge of my seat every moment. This film was amazing. I don't even think words. I'm not good at describing movies. I am the worst at it. I just prefer to watch movies. But yeah, James here has uploaded a kill count on the original Don't Breathe. I am crossing my fingers, hoping the new one is good. The only sad thing is Fede Alvarez isn't directing it, but apparently, who is directing Don't Breathe 2? Don't Breathe 2. Alright, who is directing it? Rodo Siagas, who was a writer on the first movie. So maybe that will sort of help, you know, kind of keeping it in line with what they envisioned, because with Alvarez after delay, the project was greenlit with. So yeah, originally Fede Alvarez was going to direct it, but then yeah, the one thing that was very sad was like when he made like cause like his first like the Evil Dead remake, one of the better remakes, and then Don't Breathe, and then The Girl in the Spider's Web. I really wanted to like the movie, but it was so disappointing. And then he did the reshoot for Chaos Walking, and that movie wasn't good. But it seems that he's going to do a TV series though. So, but Fede Alvarez has written the script, so I think maybe I hope it works. For the love of God, please be good. Let's watch this. Oh right, I forgot. I had this in slow motion. My sincere apologies. It's because I just did the Stranger Things video, and and I was trying to analyze it because we only got a few glimpses of new footage, so I had to like slow it down. Let's watch.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Don't Breathe, released in 2016. Don't Breathe was made by the same team that gave us the Evil Dead remake from 2013. Director and co-writer Fede Alvarez, co-writer Rodo Sayagues, and co-producer Sam Raimi and Robert Tapert. Evil Dead was so successful that Uruguayan writer-director Alvarez was offered huge projects afterward, including a Marvel film. He turned them down to make a movie he'd have more control over, and decided to stay mainstay within the horror genre. If you'll recall, however, the Evil Dead remake was one of the bloodiest movies I've ever had on the kill count. Don't Breathe intentionally takes a different approach to horror, swapping out the graphic gore and supernatural evil in favor of small-scale suspense and a very human antagonist. Don't Breathe follows three young criminals who break into the house of a blind war veteran. It's supposed to be an easy job with a high payoff, but they quickly find they're outmatched by the guy, who's got more to him than meets the eyes. I know this film has its detractors and some controversial content, but I absolutely love it for a multitude of reasons. Part of it is lead actor Jane Levy.
Yeah, this film is not. There are certain moments in the film that I don't know if I'm ever gonna look at a turkey. Who am I kidding? I don't know, but the fact that like someone would use a turkey baster to like put warm jizz inside of a damn that, but it also makes it's like because in the scene where like Stephen Lang's character, the blind man, is doing it, and you can kind of feel the suspense. Oh, there's a weird editing trick because when Stephen Lang cuts it up, but then in the next scene, it magically, I guess it wasn't, you know, but at the same time, yeah. Also, Levy was really good in this film.
Levy, who also starred in Evil Dead. I've been a big fan of hers since Suburgatory. Another part of it is its setting of Detroit, since I grew up down the street in Lincoln Park. Though I didn't frequent the city too often as a kid, I still have a lot of love and pride for it. It's great to see it in film, even if it plays a derelict place the characters are eager to leave. Mostly though, I think Don't Breathe is a damn good horror movie. Its script has
It's one of the better film. I wouldn't even say it's horror. It's more psychological thriller, and I love that the film restrains itself to a certain degree, kind of like no gore, sort of, not too much gore. So
no frills. It's tight, efficient storytelling. True to its title, there are many scenes that left me actually holding my breath. Alvarez takes the singular setting and in it constructs a variety of suspenseful sequences. Not only are they anxiety-inducing, they're great to look at too, thanks to the beautiful lighting and very smooth camera work. You'd be hard-pressed to find a reverse home invasion film that's better made. Sure, the acting is sometimes questionable, with bits of dialogue that feel on the nose, and there are some logic gaps that fall apart if you think about them too long after the fact. But this movie is meant to be enjoyed in the moment, so I'll excuse all of that for the extended cat and mouse stuff. Frankly, I think this movie kicks ass. You know what else kicks ass? Raycon earbuds! Both because they sponsor so many kill counts and because their high quality earbuds offer premium sound with a comfortable fit. They fit snug inside your ear holes too, so I don't have to worry about them falling out as I wear them while washing our car. Talk about fun in the sun. Oh, and check it! My Raycons even match our red car, since their earbuds come in a variety of colors and patterns. They're not only stylish, but also practical, since they give you 6 hours of playtime and their Bluetooth pairing is seamless. Raycon has a 45-day free return policy, so you can try them right now without any risk. Just go to buyraycon.com/deadmeat, which will also get you 15% off your order. That's buyraycon.com/deadmeat for 15% off your order today. If you don't breathe, you die. That's a scientific fact. Let's see how many people took this title too literally and get to the kills. The movie begins with an overhead shot that gets needlessly spoily by time it zooms in, so let's skip it. Love seeing those Detroit houses though. Not everyone enjoys calling D-Town home, which is why this trio of youths are robbing houses and selling what they steal, so they can save up enough money to move away.
Bye-bye, Detroit.
And Ola, California.
Rocky, played by Jane Levy, is eager to leave. She wants to take her little sister and get out of their broken home where their emotionally abusive mom accuses her of being a sex worker. Rocky's obnoxious boyfriend is named Money, and he's played by Daniel Zavato, last seen on the kill count in another kick-ass Detroit-based movie, It Follows. There's a
I didn't really like Rocky. I didn't like that character in the film. No, Jane Levy's character, Money is the name. I thought his character was a bit of a douche. So, although when he did get killed, I was like, oh man.
deleted scene that shows Money kissing Rocky, but without it, their relationship seems to be lacking any intimacy. For real, I think this is the only line indicating they're together.
That's my bitch in there. Of course I give a fuck.
Maybe that's just the most romantic Money can be. Dude's an idiot who doesn't bother being careful during their crimes. He's the polar opposite of Alex, who happens to be crushing hard on Rocky, and who's the gang's back door into the houses they hit. Alex's dad works at a security company, so he's able to steal backup keys to people's homes, gain entry, and turn off their alarms. Then, after taking their haul, the burglars break a window and set off the alarm to cover up that it was an inside job. Alex is played by Dylan Minnette, who was in Goosebumps and Lost as Jack Shepard's son. Looks like he'll also be in the upcoming Scream by Radio Silence. Lucky him. Money gets a tip from Raul, the guy they sell their stolen goods to, about a house they can hit that has a shit ton of cash. An old Gulf War vet lives there by himself after a rich young woman killed his daughter in a car accident. The settlement he received was $300,000, but regardless of the amount, stealing it goes against Alex's rules.
We don't do cash. About 10K, it's major larceny. And it means 10 years if we get caught.
Rocky, who needs to get away from that mom of hers, is willing to risk it.
If we do this right, we never have to do it again.
Alex eventually relents, so they do some recon to see what the area's like. Alright, pretty jump scary. Their target house in this west side neighborhood is the last remaining occupied dwelling around. All the other houses within 4 blocks are abandoned. It's just the old war vet and his scary dog now. Oh, also, he is blind.
That's kind of fucked up to rob a blind guy, isn't it?
Just because he's blind don't mean he's a fucking saint, bro.
Dog, you have no idea. Night comes and the trio moves in for their big hit. 15 minutes in, and we're already at this point in the story. I love it. They use drugged up doggy.
The film is like 90 minutes, and it doesn't include any scene like prolong the runtime. No, it's like it's simple, straight. It's like it's only 90 minutes, but it's like for me. That's a good amount of runtime for a horror movie. Because when a horror movie goes on for too long, it's like, okay, you could have ended this like 5 to 10 minutes early. Okay, you want to go long? That's fine. No, I like that the film is just like a simple, straightforward, attempted robbery that goes wrong. So, yeah.
He treats to take care of Chekhov's hound, but learn that Alex's dad's keys don't work. The old man has extra locks that he didn't provide backup keys for. Since the other ways in are also extra locked, Rocky resolves to climb in through a window.
We're not sending her there alone.
Nobody's sending me anywhere. I'm going myself.
She breaks the window to get inside, meaning it surely couldn't have come from wallside, and disarms the security system with an electronic doodad. She lets the boys in so they can look for the money in an awesome one-take that goes on for nearly 2 minutes. During it, the camera searches alongside them, but with its omniscience gives us clues as to what will be important later on. It's a great way to direct the viewer's attention while also establishing the physical layout.
I love it when filmmakers do oneers in movies. I love that. The Spielberg, it's sort of, I think it's something that Spielberg popularized, and then Zemeckis did it, and Shyamalan also does it a lot. But I love it when oneers are used to tell something, and I just love it when there's a one shot in a movie. It's like the oneers, obviously, is what they're called, the tracking shots. Scorsese even does the tracking shots, so it's always, I just like, that's why I love 1917 so much, is that it tells this, it manages to do a lot by telling it in one shot, and kind of like Birdman, although I would say arguably 1917 is better, but I like that, 1917 is mostly comprised as a oneer, and it enhances the storytelling experience for me, so, yeah.
Out of the house. Since the rest of the movie is confined here, it makes the experience more engaging if we know where everything is. Seriously, I know fluid one-takes aren't all that uncommon anymore, but I can't praise this one enough. About the only complaint I have about the old man's house as a setting is that it wasn't actually shot in Detroit. While the exterior shots were obviously filmed in D-Town, the rest of the film was shot in Hungary, where production was much cheaper. Thanks again to Rick Snyder for cutting the Michigan film incentives in 2011. Production designer Nauman Marshall headed the construction of the interior house set, which was a replica of an actual house in Detroit. As always, a set meant having more control, and Alvarez took advantage of the conditions with lots of cranes.
So it turns out if I ever do a movie, I just gotta shoot in Budapest, and down in Hungary. Yeah, Budapest. So I should do that, maybe.
and dolly tracks that kept the camera in constant motion. They shot everything in Hungary first, all the house interiors, as well as the side yard, which was also on a set, and then finished up production with a week of shooting in Detroit. The long fluid shot ends in the old man's bedroom, where he's sleeping as sound as a juggalo after a particularly rowdy ICP show. To make sure he stays asleep, well, here comes the money! Money, 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 money! Ah shit, the old man's awake! Oh, whew, he's just turning off the home video of his dead daughter. I figured he'd be getting up to pee. Okay, proceed as planned, Money. With the old man gassed, they go looking for the cash. Is it behind locked door number 1? Money says it's gots to be, and when his crowbar doesn't do the trick, he resorts to more power. This displeases Alex Borland.
You just gave this guy the legal right to shoot us.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Time to blow this pop bottle. Things are too risky for Alex now, so he goes to leave as Money opens the basement door.
Who's there?
Oh, fuck. The old man steps on the blown-off lock and realizes what it is. He begins to visibly panic, so Money tries telling him to cool his Jets pizza.
Yeah, that's right. I know what's in there, and I ain't leaving without it. You got me?
Yeah, he's got you, Money. By the fucking neck, brah. Oh man, they messed with the wrong old lonely Detroiter. He gets Money begging for his life in no time. The old man asks Money how many other people are there, and Money covers for the nearby Rocky and says he's by himself. Just calm down, old man. There's nobody else here, okay?
Okay, I swear to God.
Whew, there goes the money. Talk about a crashing currency. God damn.
Minutes in, the first, dead corpse, and it's intense. Like, Money is a character who is obviously a douchebag. He's like, you're obviously meant to hate it, but like when he gets killed off, at one point you're like, yeah, I kind of deserved it because he was a douchebag, but at the same time you're like, oh man.
What an impactful first kill. Rocky silences herself and sneaks into a closet as the old man bangs against the wall and shows off his old man muscles. Alex, who heard the gunshot, comes back inside and just barely avoids the old man as he walks around trying to figure out what to do. Again, fun fluid shots that show Alex having to hide as the old man relocks his doors and boards up the window Rocky broke to get in. From her closet hiding spot, Rocky accidentally learns some valuable info. The key code to a safe the old man keeps behind a fake wall, inside of which is a whole lot of money. Not this money though, he did. Alex finds his way to Rocky, who cracks open the safe to find even more cash than they expected.
There's a lot more than 300 grand in there. There's gotta be about $1 million.
Wow, they actually got the money. Too bad they're locked inside the house. They'll have to get out through the storm cellar door, which means they'll need to go through the basement. Let's go! Don't Breathe's jump scares are so damn good, they don't even need music stings to make them pop. This movie stresses me out in the best of ways. There's a taunt game of duck duck shoot that ends when a cell phone goes off and gets shot. Rocky and Alex head through the basement door as the old man disposes of Money's body. While cleaning up the mess though, he learns something interesting. There are 3 pairs of shoes here, and Money didn't feel like he had 6 feet. Now knowing there were other burglars, the old man checks his safe and finds it empty. Time for another round of wall punching. The old man's
Man, I love Stephen Lang. He's a really underrated guy. But like the muscles, like that guy is probably 60s, still strong, man. I'm pretty sure. Be like, hey, Stephen Lang, can I shake your hand? Sure, kid. They lift me up like, Mr. Lang, can you let me down now? Still, you're really strong. Good figure. Thanks, kid. I don't know. I hope Stephen Lang is nice in real life. I bet he is. I love Stephen Lang. In fact, I feel like he had more to do in this movie than he did in Avatar. That's just me, though.
Basement is a confusing maze that leads into a back room. Not much here, besides plants, a chair, and a screaming girl tied up to a bell that lets the old man know there are people in his basement. This is the midway twist of the movie, where the old man ceases to be a victim. He's not just a scary motherfucker who can fight, he's also keeping a kidnapped woman tied up in his home. Her name is Cindy Roberts, and she's the one who woman-slaughtered the old man's teenage daughter. After a jury acquitted her, he took things into his own hands, so his situation is daughter. Her name is Cindy Roberts, and she's the one who slaughtered the old man.
Found innocent of vehicular manslaughter. And like the old man says, rich girls don't go to jail. It's sad, the rich can get away scot-free, but like the lower class was like, no, No, they deserve to go to jail.
Man's teenage daughter. After a jury acquitted her, he took things into his own hands. So his situation is a little like slow-ass motherfucking Jeff's. Except this motherfucker ain't that slow, and he's now heading downstairs with a gun. Using the same code as the money safe, which is also Director Alvarez's birth.
2978. Gotta look that up. Fede Alvarez. Fede Alvarez. Yep, February 9th, 1978. I did not catch that. Man, just James, I like that James always goes into this great detail on these little things. I just love that.
Birthday, Alex finds a ring of keys. They unlock the woman and help her stand as they head towards the storm cellar door, the safe way out of this place. Come on. Just kidding. There is no safe way out. Alex only gets shot in the ear tip, but poor Cindy is shot in the face and killed. I hate that this character was bound, gagged, and killed less than 5 minutes after meeting her. Makes her feel like a prop. The old man shoots away Alex and Rocky, then stumbles upon the victim of his bullets. When he realizes who it is, he begins moaning and crying something awful. No! No what? You did this, man! You sick old motherfucker. The old man is played by Stephen Lang, who also goes by Slang. Lang was perfect for this intimidating role thanks to all the training he's had playing other military characters, most notably Colonel Miles Quaritch in the Avatar series. He was also the original Freddie Lounds in Manhunter, which I'll get to next year. Sorry for the Hannibal delay. Slang, who wore contact lenses to imitate blindness, brought a lot of intensity to his role that director Alvarez encouraged.
There wasn't a moment where he was going soft on them. If he asked me, I was like, don't go soft on them. Go as hard as you can. And we'll ask them, and most actors will go like, yeah, bring it. And then they will find out what that meant in the middle of the scene.
That's all fine and good, but sadly, there might be some bad blood between Alvarez and Jane Levy due to conditions on Don't Breathe set. I don't know any details, but things recently got awkward when Alvarez and Rodo Sayagues were doing press tours for Don't Breathe 2. Alvarez said something about his movies being too intense.
Alright, when I saw her shooting this movie, I did not see her happy. I think she gives 20.
Tense for Levy because she gets so into her roles, and she shot back on Twitter implying discontent with his directing style. I did read that he would sometimes trick his actors to get unexpected reactions.
I heard about that. I heard that that's kind of the thing where it's like there are so many moments like that where for example, Alan Rickman, when they were doing Gruber falling to his death in Die Hard, I can't remember if they counted it down to 1, 2, counted up 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1. But before the moment, they accidentally let Alan Rickman go, and so when he's falling like this in Die Hard, Alan Rickman was generally actually scared. He was like, you sons of bitches, you let me go before. And that's a thing, actually. That I get that. I guess in some way it does make the movie better, but unfortunately you do traumatize it. But I guess it really depends on how it is. But I did hear about that thing. Alvarez going and filming some of the unexpected reactions, like not telling them what was gonna happen. Let me just mute here because of the loud cars passing by again. Sorry, the car is so loud. It's from the worst neighborhood possible. But I did hear about that. I can't remember what was the other one. I do know that, like, I think filming the Jungle Book, the actor who was playing Mowgli, like John Favreau, since there wasn't really CG animals, like John Favreau would actually be behind the actor playing Mowgli and scare him. Because there's the scene where, like, Shere Khan just jumps out of nowhere and Mowgli ducks. That was actually John Favreau behind him screaming to get the reaction out of him. I've heard that, get unexpected reactions, which I guess is a mixed bag when you tell them who. I do remember that, it is a pretty intense situation though.
Reactions out of them, and he even used the phrase psychological torment to describe what he did. But I can't find anything more detailed than that, so not really sure what happened there. The old man jams up the lock to the cellar door, then evens the sensory playing field by turning off the lights. This is another interesting scene that keeps the movie fresh as it moves into its second half. The old man has home field advantage over the burglars, using physical cues to navigate around familiar spaces. I love Alvarez's decision to give this pitch black scene a grayscale look instead of going with the usual night vision green. He shot the scene fully lit and made it monochromatic in post, save for the flashes of light when a gun is fired, during which color is briefly restored. So good. Since the scenes were well lit on set, but Alvarez wanted the actors unable to see, they wore contact lenses that blinded them while simulating dilated pupils. The old man catches up with Alex and nearly chokes him to death before the burglar escapes with the help of a big rack. Alex reunites with Rocky and they're able to get upstairs, putting the danger—
Yeah, actually, I do know who the colorist on this movie is. Let's see. I know Company 3, did this movie. Yeah, here it is. Let's see who the colorist was. Alright, let's see. Cinematographer, Pedro... Yeah, Siggy Furtzel. This guy right here, Siggy Furtzel. What has he done over the years? I'm interested in knowing what he's done. Alright, so he did, oh, that's interesting. He was a colorist on the basis of sex. He also did The Boys, Axel. Yeah. Let's see what else he's done. I'm still looking. Oh, Underworld, Blood Wars, American Pastoral. He's done a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's who the color. Yeah, Siggy Furtzel. Oh, he did Togo. That was a good movie too. The Boys, Lost in Space Season 2, The Hate U Give. Lots of talented people worked on this movie. So I'm wondering if that's what happened. Is like they shot it and then in post production, down at Company 3, Ed Alvarez, yeah, like James said, told you just give it like the grayscale instead of the usual. I'm glad they went with that because usually when there are scenes where they're so dark, it's usually night vision green, but the grayscale kind of sells the intensity of it.
of the old man behind them, but there's another danger just down the hall. The scary good boy chases after them like this were people under the stairs and corners them in an upstairs bedroom where the windows are all barred. The old man starts to shoot and shoulder his way inside, so Rocky resorts to the air duct. Before Alex can follow her, the old man gets the door cracked open and his dog runs inside to tackle Alex out the frickin' window. Wait, didn't those windows have bars on them a minute ago? You know what? Whatever. Alex lands on the glass sunroof of the old man's kitchen, which begins to shatter beneath him like he were in a dino research trailer hanging off the edge of a cliff. As the old man tries to figure out what
I never thought of that. That does sound like they were referencing the Lost World Jurassic Park, that one scene where if the truck is down and like Jeff Goldblum and like Julianne Moore and Vince Vaughn are like trying to hold on for dear life, like, ugh, and they're on the glass. That scene was intense. For me, probably the most intense scene is when they're in the tall grass. That one's the most intense scene in my opinion.
happened to his prey, the movie goes full people under the stairs when the dog climbs into the air duct to chase after Rocky. Oh, good boy coming for that ass. Ah, mister, maybe next time, little doggy. The old man figures things out and fires his gun towards Alex. It misses, but the shot still gives him quite the shardy fall. The old man pursues with more gunshots, forcing Alex into the laundry room where Money's body is. I guess the old man's trying to launder that money. Alex eyes a blacksmith hammer that was earlier highlighted during that exploratory one-shot, and he uses uses it to attack the old man when he moves in for the kill. I'd call this a fight scene, but it's a bit too one-sided for that. The old man fucking ragdolls Alex around and beats the shit out of him in a variety of ways. God damn, this is like Lashley versus Kofi all over again. After getting Alex to the ground, the old man finds a pair of garden shears. He ends the fight by bringing them down deep into flesh. Rocky comes to in the air duct and realizes that she's finally on the verge of freedom. All she has to do is kick her way out of this vent to the outside world, and avoid the old man grabbing her, which unfortunately she does not. He extends no mercy as he beats her in his living room in an uncomfortably violent scene. It ends when he chokes her unconscious, transitioning us into the final act. Some hours pass and Rocky wakes up unconscious, transitioning us into the final act. Some hours pass and Rocky wakes up badly bruised and bound. She's now in the bed and restraints of the old man's previously captured victim, whose body he later disposes of by burying beneath his basement floor. Rocky begs for her freedom, but the old man shuts her down and launches into the first extended dialogue he's had all film. He tells Rocky that she couldn't understand the love he had for his daughter, and that he was holding Cindy captive for more than just revenge. He reasons that because Cindy killed his daughter,
"You told me fair, but she gave me a new one. She was pregnant with my baby. You killed them both."
I disagree. Essentially, they did kind of put her on the path of death. But, you pulled the trigger, blind man. You pulled the trigger, so you killed them. Of course, I guess that's... I know James is gonna say that.
Now this dude wants to hold Rocky accountable, and we already know how fucked up his sense of justice is. Worst of all, he's one of those holier-than-thou jigsaw types.
Not a rapist. I never forced myself on her.
Heads up for disturbing sexual assault and, jizz.
Yeah, I forgot to... I remembered that. The warming up of the jizz. This is the scene that I was like... There's one scene where I was like, I can't really say which one. Oh, God. This scene was disturbing. Let's all be fair. This film almost did not make me look at a turkey baster the same way ever again. Oh, man. I'm pretty sure... I am hoping, though. I am wondering if this was fake jizz. Probably was fake jizz. Yeah, everyone in the comments. Say jizz again. I dare you. I double dare you. Jizz. Yeah. The longest time I only ever... First I found out the usual term was jizz, but then it's later referred to as cum. So yeah. Warm cum. I can't even look at... Let's just go.
Because this rapist used a turkey baster of his semen to impregnate Cindy.
Is warm semen even worse? I'm pretty sure that was fake jizz, but still...
Cindy.
Not a rapist.
Yeah, you are, brah. Now he's ready to rape Rocky with his bastard baster too, to get himself another replacement daughter. Upstairs, we learn that Alex avoided death by sheer luck. Literally, since those shears went into Money's body instead of his.
Oh, I didn't notice. I think it's because, there are some scenes where the film is really well lit. But then there are some scenes where it's so dark you can't make out what happens. But it's yeah.
Locks the dog behind a door and makes his way downstairs, just in time, thankfully, to stop the old man from doing his thing. Alex beats him down with a hammer and frees Rocky from her restraints, then handcuffs the old man to the wall so they can get away. Rocky doesn't want to get away, though. She wants to beat the shit out of her would-be rapist. Maybe give him a little taste of his own medicine. Oh,
God, that's the scene I was talking about. Hold on, let me pause. Let me just pause here. This is the scene I was talking about. When that happened, I was like, that is the scene I wanted to hurl at. I rarely throw up, but yeah, that scene was like, oh God, no, ugh. Like the taste. I don't even want to know what the taste of your own warm jizz would be like. Ugh. That scene is disgusting. This scene. Thank you. But I guess that was the intention, was that it was supposed to gross you out. This is a very... Yeah.
God, I'm gonna hurl. Rocky and Alex realize that they have to make a choice. Call the cops and get this guy arrested, or take the money and keep their mouths shut. They decide to take the money because after a night like this, better to escape alive and rich. Unfortunately for Alex, he's given option number 3, killed by the old man, who's now standing there looking like he's in the Black Star music video. Rocky opens the door and hauls ass down this empty street in the light of a brand new day. The old man sicks his dog on her, giving us a solid late-game chase sequence of the dog trapping Rocky in her car. The scene was a last-minute rewrite during production, and Alvarez later said it was probably subconsciously influenced by Cujo. Lots of good little beats to it, like when Rocky tries to trap the dog in the trunk, and she's ultimately able to chain it up just outside of biting range. But the barking leads the old man to Rocky, and he once again gains the upper hand. He drags her down the street in the drone shot that began this movie, which I guess was just used to have a punchy opening shot. He gets her back inside his house, but only for a minute, since the symbolic ladybug leads Rocky's eyeline to their alarm doodad. She sets off the security system, which deafens the man with its siren and allows her to beat him with a crowbar through the basement door. He has a nasty landing on the cement floor that discharges his gun.
I saw what you did there, James. I saw what you did there. Cement floor.
And puts a bullet in his side. Rocky's finally able to leave this house for good and escapes frame right as the police show up in response to the security system. Hours later, Rocky takes the money and her sister to the train station. But maybe take a look at the news before you get out of here, Rocky, and not because Mort Krim is doing Chump of the Week. No, a report shows that the old man survived the armed robbery, but he told the police his only attackers were the 2 men found dead inside, and he didn't report any stolen money, meaning Rocky is free to go. The movie ends with her punching that ticket to freedom and leaving to board a train with her sister to California.
It ended up ambiguous.
How many people die when things don't go according to anyone's plans? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Warning,
Oh, shit.
warning.
That could have been bad. Only 3 people died in Don't Breathe, since it was more about suspense than kills. The victims were 2 men and 1 kidnapped woman, giving us a 2-to-1 ratio of dudes, and with a runtime of 88 minutes, that left us with a kill on average about every half hour. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Money. All 3 kills were basically the same thing, but his was so sudden and had the most style to it. Dog Machete for lamest kill will go to Alex, since it felt the most obvious, and also since Cindy's death had that horrific visual of blood slowly blossoming from her cheek. And that's it! Don't Breathe came out in 2016 and has a sequel coming out next week on August 13th. The trailer for it makes it seem action-y and positions the old man as the main character, but I'm expecting it to be a twisted situation, and not one where they actually expect us to root for the guy.
As a director, I wouldn't like to spoon feed the audience about who they should like and who they shouldn't like.
That I can deal with, but I won't like it if they make the old man a hero. Because, you know, that'd be fucked up, all things considered. Next week begins the long-prophesized Friday the 13th recounts. But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
Are your teenagers out of control? Sex and drugs? Trouble with the law?
We ain't gonna stand for no weirdness out here.
Send them to Camp Crystal Lake, even if it means coming to New Jersey. Yes, the camp has a history of tragic accidents and murder.
It's got a death curse.
But Steve Christie promises everything will be okay. And you can definitely trust that guy. At Camp Crystal Lake, your kids will learn about swimming safety.
Hey, New Jersey is better than Florida in my opinion. Well, better than Miami. It's like Florida. Are you glad we took a trip to Florida, kids? Oh shit, there's an alley. Let's go, kids. Let's go. Let's get back to the hotel. The hotel smells like like you were in a swamp.
Archery and native wildlife. Note, please do not kill the native wildlife. They'll also
Unless they're snakes, then snakes deserve to die.
learn just how boring a beloved movie can be in between kills. Give yourself the summer off by sending your kids to Camp Crystal Lake. In your free time, you can watch the original Friday the 13th. Then on Friday, August 13th, tune in for the Kill Count recap.
I never thought about that. Friday, damn. I'm sorry, I don't really keep much in line. But yeah, I never thought I do know of every Friday the 13th. the movies and also the fact that it can be an actual day. Friday the 13th. Oh, God.
Count, because it's time for this slasher classic to get the kill count it deserves.
Give me another chance.
Friday the 13th can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Demi always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Thanks a lot for watching this week's Kill Count. I want to thank some patrons like Doot, Christopher Demi, Jonathan Montiel, Michael Baldwin, Mr. Yowzalot, and Elizabeth Payne. Don't Breathe 2 comes out next week. There are so many horror movies coming out right now. I can't even keep up with them. I haven't seen half the ones that are out. Thanks everyone. Be good people.
Yeah, thanks, James. Yeah, I am wondering how they are. I think, the trailer for Don't Breathe 2 is, sort of there to manipulate us from what's actually going to happen. But yeah, this was an intense movie. I like that it was focused more on suspense than kills because I think it makes the viewing experience better. Because, when you kill too many people in a horror movie, there can be a point where you can go and, it comes off to the certain point of fatigue. Don't know, but I really have nothing left to add. I am hoping that the sequel, I do want it to be good, but I'm just skeptical about it. I'm just like, it's one of those horror movies are practically the only time I wait and read for the reviews because when it comes to horror films, I can expect disappointment. But hey, who knows? Maybe sequel will be good. I don't know. All right, I got to end the video here. This was the Dead Meat. This was the Don't Breathe. This is Dead Meat's Don't Breathe Kill Count. Let me know what you all thought of it. I will leave a link to the original video down below and a link to James's channel. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you all thought of the movie Don't Breathe. Until next time, don't break in other people's houses, especially if they're an old blind man who have kidnapped a woman and put his warm cream inside. That's the warning that I got in the video.